What makes a gym successful? What makes a gym successful? The equipment, right? Good equipment. What? A trainer? Right, there we go. Okay? I mean, you could have a fantastic gym, you know, with the best equipment in the world and the best trainers in the world. If no one's using it, the gym's not really considered to be successful. So the question is, how do you get members to keep coming back? Well, we're agreed that members make a successful gym, right? Is that, I mean, there's obviously more factors, but that's a key factor. If there's no one paying their monthly subscription, the gym's not doing so well. It's all well and good having you know, a nice team, but at the end of the day, I come back to your profit answer. That speaks to me for some reason. We want to have membership, right? We want to have membership. So what creates and builds membership?
Providing a service that they want.
Providing a service they want. And what do we want in a gym? Is it that they have, you know, good juices, a nice sandwich, right? What is it that I want in the gym?
Depends.
It does depend. There's no question about that. What are some of the things?
Some people in certain parts of London may want to get socialisation.
It's a social club.
Some people might actually just
Yeah. I'll sit on that kind of walking machine, you know, just looking around, you know, not really breaking into a sweat apart from the many layers I'm wearing.
Most people work out through being now a member of a class.
Right.
That would suggest that they need that kind of socialisation aspect to actually perform.
There's no question. Let's go back to this membership idea. What makes me as a member then, if I really want to go and use the gym in the ultimate way, because I can go to a all bar one for a social class, if I want to really become, and what are the benefits of a gym if I'm going to use the gym properly?
Live longer.
Live longer.
Better body.
Better body.
Feel better.
Feel better about myself.
Perform better outside of the gym.
What's that? Perform better outside of the gym, yeah. Probably stress management, yep. What else? Yeah, health and looking issues. Good. Now, let's say you had no idea what a gym was, right? And someone was trying to sell you this aspect. They came up to you and they said, Jack, you know, there is a place that I'm thinking you should go. Okay, I'm interested, right? I'm interested. Well, as you walk in this place, you're going to spend about an hour there, and someone who you don't know, you might not even like, is going to try and beat you up a little bit. And in that process of beating you up a little bit, they're going to put you through certain contraptions which look a little bit funny, and they're actually really painful. And they don't have to be painful, but this nasty guy is going to push you to the point where they become painful. And after you've actually been through that potential torture, you're going to be limping and a bit stretched and perhaps a little bit pulled and feeling a bit funny. And I want you to go and try this once. In fact, not even once. I want you to try this. I want you to pay them money for it. And I want you to go back every other day. Is that a good sales pitch? Do you think that, I mean, I don't know what a gym is, but the first time this gym appeared, this kind of nasty torturing person was going to beat you up, you'll walk out limping, and for that luxury you'll pay lots of money, and you'll want to go back tomorrow. Is that a good sales pitch, yes or no? No. Not really, but is that wrong? Well, exaggerated a bit. But why do we tackle, why do we entertain the deep nature of potential pain and work and effort in the gym and love it? Why do we love it? And we love it enough to go back and pay the money for it.
Because you're not focusing on the thing that's going to the reward, as it were. If you're focusing on the reward, then you don't have to, you know, yes, that's the consequence.
Absolutely.
But you've got, this is the end game.
Absolutely. This is a key point in business. Key point in business is the first of our points. The reason why in the gym pain is good is because I have total certainty in its outcome. I have total certainty. If I had no certainty in the outcome of better health, better body, longer life, and so on, I wouldn't dream to go to such a stupid place. I wouldn't dare to walk into a place and make all that effort if I didn't know and have certainty in the result. There is a physical result. I see it. I feel it. People around me tell me about it. Because I have absolute certainty in that process, so too pain is no longer pain. In fact, it gets to the point where in the midst of that pain, now I'm happy. Without that pain, I'm frustrated. I'll even pay a trainer to ensure that I'm in the ultimate of my pain. In the rest of life, we don't follow that formula. We mostly run from pain. Anything which becomes challenge, a pain, all of a sudden we think is bad, our perception takes over, the ego kicks in, and then all of a sudden real chaos and suffering starts. Because I don't have my gym head on me. To have a gym head, no pain, no gain, is to have absolute certainty that the process that I'm being put through, to know the outcome of things, to know if my consciousness is in the right area, and from these 7 steps we'll know. To have absolute certainty, therefore, that the fruits are good. To have absolute certainty. Most of us have very low consciousness. We're up one day, we're down the next. The second some of these fruits drop in our lap, we're happy. The second, the day after they disappear, we're miserable. We haven't got certainty in that process of the gym through pain and fruit, through concealment and revealment, through that strategic planned process. In the midst of pain, we panic because we want these. These aren't about pain, these are about happiness. So in the midst of pain, we're furthest from happiness. No? Well, no, that's not true. Because the way any fruit becomes truly revealed is through this concealment process. In the midst of that process, when we're getting somewhere, it's going to be its most painful. Because there's the biggest light to be born. The most darkness reveals the most light. These greatest indicators come from the hardest work. You don't become a billionaire overnight. You have to work with such brutal discipline like we've spoken about, and such conviction, overcoming so much failure. All of these have been previous classes. That in that process you have certainty that if my consciousness is in the right place, I know that my decision making can be even faulty, but I know it'll carry me. Most of us have no consciousness in the right place, and therefore our decision making is key. If we make a wrong decision, we're in big trouble. What we're saying, if our consciousness is so powerful, so much certainty, we can even afford to make many mistakes in business and somehow will be carried through to better outcomes. So the first step is to tackle, and again, this isn't something which you can just decide to have. Right? This is something which is arrived at by overcoming consistent doubts. Writing the process. But again, as I look back in the gym, I know with conviction these are the outcomes. I'll pay for it. I'll even pay a person to put me through significant pain because I know those outcomes are what I want. Like Jack says, that's all that means anything. The real outcomes are what lives in my mind, not the painful process. The second I touch the process, actually I feel better because I'm closer to the outcomes. That example is example in business process. Does that make sense? Very important consciousness to lead people, to lead businesses, to lead and inspire teams. Absolute conviction, certainty, to feel the fruits in the pain. And to have certainty in that process. To have certainty in that process.